So in that last video that I just did, of course, still have my robe on because it's kind of cold. I talked a little bit about my shoulder issue. I want to elaborate on that, kind of tell you a little bit of a story of how not to be like me, because if this helps one person, I think it'd be good. But a lot of people, a lot of younger people, not that I'm like super old, I know I'm bald, but I'm not like crazy old, but a lot of younger generations, especially in the blue collar field, but I think this transcends that a bit and would go into anybody like in the gym scene or anything like that. Don't do what I did. Don't screw your body up because you think that you're invincible or being young and dumb like I was. So I want to kind of elaborate a little bit on how my shoulders got to where they are and how you might be able to prevent it, maybe. So in my 9 to 5, I work as a mechanic, and in that industry, I am a diesel mechanic, mainly semis, heavy trucks, but also I have uh, dipped my butt cheeks into the heavy machinery aspect of it, construction equipment, and tractors. But all that said, I started doing this about 15 years ago. And I was even at that time, I had older people in the shop telling me and the younger guys coming in, hey, take care of your body because you don't want to be in your 40s and barely able to move. And I was like, well, I'm, barely 20 and a little bit, 22 or something like that. I was still in the military. I was National Guard, so I was still in the military at the time, but still. Um, I was like, you know what? I'm invincible because I'm young and I want to do what I want to do. I want to be super quick and just not listen. And that was the start of the downfall of where I am now. Jumping off of stuff and just because everything's concrete flooring, so jumping off of like the back of a truck or off of whatever I was on, just jumping off of it instead of actually like climbing down. Over the last 15 years, it's gotten to where my my left knee is also kind of a little sensitive, but my right knee, it hurts quite a bit. It's not as bad as my shoulders, obviously, but it does have pain there. And my lower back kills because instead of using like safety equipment as far as like dollies and drum dollies on semis, lifting apparatuses, hoists, straps, anything like that, if I was able to, I would do everything I could to just brute force it. And because thought I was invincible, I guess, or I'm just really, really stupid. Probably a little bit of a combination. But a lot of young people do that. A lot of people in this industry, they take for granted being young and thinking that they're stronger than they are and that it's not going to affect them, or that's future me's problem. And future me is pissed off at past me for doing that. So and like I said, I'm sure it goes across the entirety of the blue collar industries, but I can only speak for the mechanic umbrella because that's what I know and that's what I'm in. We put ourselves in very peculiar positions almost on a daily to get the job done, which already isn't the greatest for our body because it's positions and pretzels ourselves into situations that aren't normal. And we use our muscles in very unconventional ways as far as doing our job. Very, very weird spot. Like you're having to do this number and then use your little pinkies and stuff. It's very strange things that we have to do in order to do some jobs. Not all of them, but some. Or like lifting and holding with one hand up here while you're doing something underneath here, and the part itself is like 50 pounds, and you're trying to do stuff like this, and you got like two fingers able to hold it instead of like using like a lift strap to keep it. That way you have both hands to kind of balance it and do this. A lot of people just muscle through it. And so like my fingers and my hands are kind of sensitive, like the thumb muscle or whatever the hell that is right there. It gets to where like it'll just like lock up, or it'll get weak if I'm holding something or turning something. Like I have to stop and like kind of rest for like 5 seconds and then keep going. It's little things like that that over time become an issue. And it's real, like my shoulders is a big part of that, because like I said, I didn't use the right equipment the majority of my career. And so using my muscles in very unconventional ways, it's strained them a lot. And I remember reading like the average lifespan of a blue collar worker is like 20 years before they're just not able to perform. And I'm, like I said, I've been in it for about 15. Whenever I first saw that a long time ago, I was like, no, there's no way. But being in here for 15, I'm like, yeah, I can see that. So if you don't take care of yourself, like I didn't, and a lot of people didn't. So if you're newish, if you're 10 years in, even if you're the same amount of time that I've been in, what I would suggest is start now using the right thing to do the job, the right tool for the job. Use your lifting straps, use your hoist, use knee pads. As stupid as that's going to sound and look, do it. I don't. I wish I did. I wish I did way back then. Just sucked it up and got some pads, but I didn't because young and dumb, or the jokes of going underneath the boss's table with my knee pads. I don't give a crap. Like, you gotta have thick skin anyway, but I should have just gotten them. What I do now though is I don't have pads, but I have. So my creeper is a padded creeper, and I use that as like a knee pad. I'll put my knees on it when I'm doing stuff, and then I'll just like use my toes to move across. But it helps because it's padded. But the biggest thing is that my body hurts all the time. I still do the job. I still have to. I mean, I don't have much of a choice. I have to do my job. But I'm trying to relay this to the younger guys coming into this industry, or already in the industry, just not as long. Start doing the right thing now. And if you're in a situation where you have to work super fast because you have your foreman's breathing down your freaking back, or a customer's breathing down your freaking back, and they get mad that it's taking you too long, even though it's like an extra 2 to 5 minutes to use a lifting apparatus or to save your body. If they're getting mad at that, it's time to find a different shop to work in. Don't let your foreman, supervisor, or especially customer dictate the well-being of your own body. That is the dumbest thing you could possibly do. Trust me, because I've done it. Still kind of do it because I'm not in the habit of using safety stuff yet. I'm forcing myself to. Gloves is a big one. Gloves, I never used gloves for a long time. The only time I would really use them if I was dealing with chemicals like parts cleaner or like coolant. I hate coolant and oils and stuff like that, I'd wear like nitrile gloves, and then I'd immediately rip them off because my hands would go to get all sweaty and stuff. Um, but I've forced myself over the last couple months, really, I mean, just last couple months, because like I said, 15 years in, and I'm just now taking this stuff seriously now. So don't be like me. But last couple months, I've really forced myself to start wearing gloves all the time. So what I like, and the shop I work at, they provide them because it's the PPE they provide. But if your shop doesn't provide these, I'd recommend getting some. You can get them on Amazon pretty cheap. You can get a whole package of them, and they're multi-use. Like you can use them multiple times. But I use the cut-resistant gloves because they're mesh on top, but they have that protective layer on the bottom, and the mesh on top is actually, I don't know, it's got some kind of crap in it to where it resists cuts on the top of my hand, but also the palm of my hand with whatever it's got on the bottom. But I've gotten really used to wearing those all the time now because I forced myself to start doing it. And if you see my hands, I don't know if you can really see these, but I have scars and cuts and crap all over. Let's see, can you see that? There, anyway, I got scars, cuts, just goofy stuff all over my hands, and up my arms and stuff like that. My poor lion's got a big old gash in his beard, but that's because I never really wore gloves, and my hands have taken a beating over the last 15 years, and they look a lot better now that I've been wearing these gloves for like the last month. I don't have cuts or anything all over them, except for that one. Like I have these little cuts right here, and that was because I wasn't wearing my gloves, and I did something, and stuff happens. You're going to get cut anyway. You're going to get hurt anyway. But if you can limit the amount of damage your body takes, then in the future, you're going to be able to actually function. The biggest thing that scares me now that I'm in my mid 30s is being in my 40s and walking around, or not even being able to walk around, or walking around like I'm freaking 80. That scares the crap out of me, kind of, because I don't want to be like that. I want to be able to function smoothly, which is what I'm trying to make sure I'm able to do. And that goes a lot with working out every day and being a little bit healthier, but also taking steps now to hopefully, like, the damage I have in my body, like that, it stays in that spot and doesn't progress. The biggest thing is that, sorry, my cat is moving stuff. The biggest thing is take safety seriously, especially if you're starting. And if you're in the industry, start taking it seriously now, and don't let other people dictate your safety and your future body. I would also suggest that if you're in the blue collar industry, we have a very bad habit of letting our body itself, like health wise, become a certain shape, and that's round. I was very much suggest, especially if you're in your 20s or 30s, or even if you're older, start doing some extracurricular working out. I know that our job, our industry is taxing already. We're already tired. We use our body all day. But me personally, I work out in the morning. I'll wake up at 5 a.m. I'll work out till 6 a.m. And then I go to work. I'll leave here about 7 a.m. and then go to work and then come home and whatever. we got a home gym, and not everybody can afford that, but we did. And the way that we were able to afford it is we just bought a used one off Amazon, or not Amazon, Facebook Market. About a year ago, we found a really good deal. Somebody was selling like their whole entire setup for like $700. It came with like a bench, a lot of Olympic bars, a squat rack, a pile of weights. And then my wife and I both started like really focusing on that for like the last year. I've been able to drop a lot of fat, a lot of weight, and build up a lot of quite a bit of muscle too, and it helps in my job field because I'm able to function a lot better. I'm not tired all the time. I can actually fit underneath stuff. I can fit in different areas easier. Being having a little bit healthier of a body instead of this eating out at fast food every single lunch and just being fat, it does help in this industry take care of your future body. And using the right tools for the job will prevent issues that I am having currently with my shoulders, my rotator cuffs being just complete crap, my knees starting to go, my back hurts. It's going to help you in the future. Get knee pads or get either knee pads or a pad that whenever you're working on your knees, you can put your knees on. Get in the habit now, force yourself to get in the habit now, wearing gloves, ear protection, get in the habit of putting something in your ears whenever there's loud noises. I know that that's super annoying because it's constant throughout the day, but I can't hear crap. Eye protection. I've never really had an issue with wearing eye pro because I'm already blind in this eye. So I got to protect my good eye. But a lot of people don't. And honestly, I only do it if I'm underneath something, if I'm like, obviously, if I'm cutting, grinding, whatever. Get in the habit of doing these things now, so that way in the future you're good. You can still function. You're not, 40 going on 80. Don't listen to the people telling you that, oh, you're stupid if you wear gloves or whatever the case may be, because they're stupid for not doing it. Just tell them to, kiss your ass or whatever you need to do. Like I said, if you have a foreman or customers getting mad that you're taking an extra 5 minutes to use safety stuff, find another shop. Tell them to give them the big old middle finger and say, you're not going to dictate my safety. That's the stupidest thing that I did, and it's the stupidest thing that anybody can do. So I just wanted to make this quick little video. I'd say quick, it's like 19 minutes, but after I render the fat off, it might be like 18 minutes. But I wanted to make this video because I think it's very important, especially me being a seasoned person now in this industry, having those warnings when I first came in and then avoiding them and not listening to them, and now I'm regretting that. So take care of your body, take care of you first and foremost, and make sure that you do the things that you need to do in order to prevent future you from being just completely broken. That's about it. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this, just give me a quick little follow, a little bit of a subscription. Leave me some comments, what you think, what you want to see next, and follow me on YouTube and Rumble. Both of them is Redbeard with a 3. I might do some live streaming eventually, so just let me know what you guys want to see next. Thanks.